following is a presentation of HBO Sports.
Tonight, from Corpus Christi, Texas, Boxing After Dark displays some of the most talented little men in the sport, each with questions to answer. Mikey Garcia, the universally recognized 126-pound champion, failed to make weight 5 months ago before his fourth-round stoppage of Juan Manuel Lopez.
Perfect left hook. You have to have real skills if you want to compete with Mikey Garcia.
Now, the former featherweight champion moves up to 130 pounds to challenge one of the title holders in this division, Rocky Martinez.
Look at Martinez loading up combinations.
Martinez hopes it's a special night on which he proves he's on the same elite level as Garcia, who has yet to taste defeat in his professional career. Also tonight, it's the return of Nonito Donaire. Tonight, Donaire will be looking across the ring at a familiar face. Victor Chinian has waited more than 6 long years for this rematch. In 2007, a virtually unknown Filipino flash knocked out then heavy favorite and 112-pound champion Darchinian in that year's biggest upset. Donaire used that victory to springboard into one of boxing's pound-for-pound best. But last April...
Good left hand by Rigondeaux. Donaire can't find him to retaliate. Rigondeaux's trying to close the show.
A defeat at the hands of Guillermo Rigondeaux stopped the Donaire momentum. Tonight, Donaire tries to regain steam against a rival who has developed bad blood against the Filipino Flash.
I made him, I'm gonna break him. When you have ego and pride like he does, it's painful.
Boxing After Dark is next.
Welcome to the American Bank Center by the water in Corpus Christi, Texas, just next to the Gulf of Mexico, where a good crowd is on hand tonight for this HBO Boxing After Dark triple header. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Lampley. Coming up, 3 fights, the first of which we did not cover in that opening tease, is a battle between 2 unbeaten American former Olympians for a vacant 154-pound title. Vanes Martirosyan against Demetrius Andrade. That's Martirosyan of Glendale, California. Andrade from Providence, Rhode Island. In the second fight, after that one, Victor Chinian has waited 6 years and moved up 14 pounds on the scale, chasing revenge for Nonito Donaire's knockout against him back in 1997. Back in 2007. Donaire is favored to get the job done yet again tonight. And then in the final bout of the evening, which ranks on this card as the main event, Mikey Garcia, who failed to make weight and lost his 126-pound title in his last fight against Juan Manuel Lopez, also here in Texas, in Dallas, tonight takes on Rocky Martinez of Puerto Rico, trying to win a 130-pound title belt in his first trip to that weight level. Meanwhile, the entire boxing world continues its vigil for Russian heavyweight Magomed Abdusalamov. If you did not see it on last Saturday night's World Championship Boxing telecast from the small room, the theater in Madison Square Garden, Abdusalamov was involved in a rock'em sock'em affair with Irish Mike Perez. The following day, he suffered a brain bleed, received surgery for the brain bleed, was placed into an induced coma, and as of tonight, he remains in that coma, continues fighting for his life. So boxing fans and everyone else in the boxing world are invited to contribute to a fund which has been set up for Abdusalamov. And you can see the details here on this graphic. It's ring10ny.com to donate. And for more information, go to that website. And all of our hearts and prayers tonight are with Mago Abdusalamov, his wife, and their 3 children. Now let's get ready for the fight between Andrade and Martirosyan. And first a look at the tail of the tape for the two unbeaten 154-pounders. You can see the 2-year age advantage for Andrade. He represented the United States in Beijing in 2008. Martirosyan represented the United States in Athens in 2004. A 1-inch height advantage for Andrade, who fights as a southpaw, though he is a natural right-hander, meaning he has the strong hand in front. He also has a half-inch arm length advantage measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. They both weighed in under the 154-pound weight limit, and tonight Andrade unofficially outweighs Martirosyan by 2 pounds on our unofficial HBO scale, 166 to 164. I'll be joined at ringside very shortly by Roy Jones and Max Kellerman. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to American Bank Center right here in Corpus Christi, Texas, USA. Tonight, Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, along with Foreman Boys Promotions, are proud to present an evening of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment, sponsored by Tecate Con Carácter and Pacquiao versus Rio, Saturday, November 23rd, live on HBO pay-per-view. All bouts sanctioned by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations. This first bout presented in association with Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing and Arthur Palullo's Banner Promotions. Also sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization. The 3 judges at ringside scoring this bout: Javier Alvarez, Don Griffin, and Jesse Reyes. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, referee John Shorley. And now, 2 undefeated fighters. Somebody's O has got to go. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO light middleweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red, white, and blue, officially weighing in at 153 3/4 pounds. His record as a professional, 33 victories, including 21 knockouts, no losses, and 1 draw. Originally from Abovian, Armenia, he now lives and trains out of Glendale, California. He's former WBC silver, NABF, and NABO light middleweight champion, the #1 ranked WBO light middleweight contender in the world, the undefeated Vanis Nightmare Martirosyan. And fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue with black and silver, officially weighing in at 153 3/4 pounds. A perfect professional record consisting of 19 fights, 19 victories, including 13 knockouts. Fighting out of Providence, Rhode Island, the WBO #2 ranked light middleweight contender in the world, the undefeated Demetrius Caesar Boo-Boo Andrade.
This fight is dedicated to our dear friend, California timekeeper Stan Gordon. Okay, fellas, both these trunks are high, so here's good and here's good. It's for the WBO world title. Give me a good, clean fight. Obey my commands to protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves, good luck.
Vanis Martirosyan is more well-known to viewers likely.
Looking for anybody?
And he's had a good professional career. He's been in some exciting enough fights. Andrade is a blue-chip prospect, according to many, and says he's going to give the people what they've been missing, something special. Jim, he better, because at this stage, good boxers don't excite anyone. Only great ones do.
Both guys have been brought along painstakingly slowly in their professional careers so far. Both have been criticized for the level of opposition up to this point. They get the opportunity to fight for a title that became vacant because of an injury to Baisangurov, the Russian fighter who previously held the title. So it's a step up, but not necessarily a step up in opposition. They're fighting fighters about whom the same questions exist for both of them, Roy, given the absence of big-time opposition so far.
Yeah, both of them are still a little bit unknown in the sport. They haven't really proved themselves. Martirosyan, last time I saw him, was in a pretty bad fight against Andrade, Lara, the Cuban. He ended up getting a draw out of anything, but it was not looking good for him towards the end of the fight. So tonight, we got a new fresh guy here who looks like he has something to prove and is definitely out to show Martirosyan that he's a better fighter.
And already Andrade has landed a couple of clean counter shots. Martirosyan got the technical draw against Lara in a fight that was stopped because of a cut over Martirosyan's eye. And the scorecard, which turned it into a draw because it had Martirosyan leading in the fight, was a bit of a shock to ringsiders who felt as though Lara had been dominant to that point.
Well, so far, Andrade is dominant in this fight, using his length and boxing skill to impose himself on Martirosyan.
What he's doing is he's jabbing first. Martirosyan is not jabbing, so headbutt. But the
Their
jab
heads came together.
Yeah, the jab is allowing him to be ahead of the fight and be out in front. So he's throwing first. Everything Martirosyan is doing is a counter.
Over the years, Roy, we've seen more and more of this format by which a fighter like Andrade fights with the strong hand in front. Natural right-hander, fighting as a southpaw throughout his entire career. It's the equivalent of if you yourself had gone into the ring and fought as a southpaw. Have you tried it, and what advantages do you think it gives to Andrade?
Yes, I have tried it. The good thing about it is that it puts that beautiful right hook in front.
Down goes Andrade. He was landing a left hand, and Martirosyan countered. And he himself, Andrade, has never previously been knocked down.
Wow.
That round was being dominated by Andrade up to that moment, and he got a little too greedy.
Yeah, and I think Martirosyan had hurt him earlier when they came together with the headbutt, but I couldn't really tell.
Martirosyan's left eye looks red already, above the left eye, maybe from that collision ahead.
That's what I think.
It's a hard right hand by Martirosyan. Martirosyan almost went to the corner. That sound replicated the notion that there were 10 seconds left in the round, and now there's the real bell. Shocking knockdown gives Martirosyan the first round.
We're going to start changing our levels on it. That's all he got is that straight right hand, all right? Keep that angle. We're going to work downstairs a little bit. You're going to throw it over your head. All right, you good? Okay. Okay, we're going to work this round now, but work smart. Don't square up. Don't overextend your
Here you
left.
see a perfect situation where the counter left hook beat the counter straight left to the punch. Martirosyan beat him to the punch with the short left hook. Andrade was back to throw the counter left hand, but the left hook got there first, and it sent him to the canvas. Plus, he was coming forward, so his momentum helped that punch send him to the canvas.
Healthy box numbers in round one. Martirosyan was only 4 of 25. No jabs. They were all power shots. But nevertheless, one of them was that counter left hook that put Andrade on his back. Andrade had landed 11 out of 58 punches, numerically easily controlling the round up to that point.
I think Andrade got dropped because his right hand was down at his side. He felt comfortable at distance, but he didn't have the distance at that moment.
He didn't have as much distance as he thought he had. And he just
Andrade
hurt Marty.
momentarily wobbles Martirosyan with an uppercut. By far, the more solid punches in the fight have been landed by Andrade, but Martirosyan with that one quick left hook has an edge on the scorecards.
Andrade has been fighting this fight so far as though he realizes it's a showcase fight. It's a coming out kind of party fight for him, or at least he wants it to be.
Martirosyan still doing all of his work off of what Andrade does. Martirosyan isn't initiating anything, not throwing his jab.
He's just
waiting for Andrade to throw.
Yeah, he's waiting for Andrade to get impatient to reach at him, and when he reaches, he's hoping that he can catch him coming in like he did with that left hook before.
Andrade has wide shoulders and long arms, at least in appearance, for a 154-pound fighter. Sticks that jab out, it seems to travel a long distance.
He looks like a huge junior middleweight. I mean, tall, broad, rangy.
Martirosyan is not bad for a middleweight either, though, a junior middleweight.
He's tall and rangy as well.
He's only 2 pounds lighter right now.
And also physically strong fighter.
Very strong fighter with a lot of experience.
Martirosyan is trained by Freddie Roach, so this is a situation very much like what we had in Broomfield, Colorado, where Ruslan Provodnikov fought with Marvin Somodio in his corner, while Freddie Roach is off in the Philippines training Manny Pacquiao for his upcoming fight with Brandon Rios. Martirosyan's in that position as well. Ernie Sabala is the supervising trainer in his corner tonight. Freddie Roach will get a phone call at the end of the evening.
Andrade still with that right hand at his hip.
Yeah, but that right jab is what's causing a lot of problems for Martirosyan.
Now Martirosyan chases him across the ring for a couple of counter right hands.
But Martirosyan seems to be the stronger puncher.
Next Saturday, it's a fun night for boxing fans here on HBO. First, it's the one-man show, Mike Tyson, Undisputed Truth, directed by Spike Lee. In live boxing with super middleweight champion Andre Ward, returning to the ring to face undefeated Edwin Rodriguez. Next Saturday night on HBO.
Don't wait to counter him. You can't handle your power, okay? I want you to double jab and shoot that hook, right hand hook, all right? Right hand hook, come back with a left hand hook.
Yes.
Put him, huh? Right hand to the body, left hand to the head.
Left hand to top.
Okay? You gotta let your jabs go though. Shorten up the punches, don't be so wide.
1-2 is not good, baby. You're gonna go 3-4 just like you
He's
said,
the best
okay?
fight for Andrade, I think. He threw a straight overhead left followed by a beautiful right uppercut that landed right under the chin of Martirosyan. I think it had Martirosyan in trouble for a brief second.
In the second round, by CompuBox count, Martirosyan only threw 28 punches, Andrade threw 60. So through both of the rounds so far, Andrade has basically doubled Martirosyan in terms of the number of punches he throws. But Martirosyan, as Roy Jones points out, is waiting to counter and working off of Andrade's action. And he's the one who got the knockdown in round number 1.
Andrade again has a tendency when he loads up on the left hand, Roy, to drop the right hand.
Yeah, he does. Looks like something that he's been doing for quite some time. Hard to make stop an old dog from doing bad tricks. So it's just something that he does.
Well, is it really necessarily a bad habit if he's a natural counterpuncher? He's dropping the hand to force the other guy to lead?
Not really. It's just that when the other guy comes in, he has to be aware of that and make the adjustments so that he's not caught by that left hook.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Stop! Break. I got you. Thank you.
And here I'm starting to figure that Martirosyan doesn't care about winning a points decision. He's trying to just wait and get that knockout on a counterpunching situation.
Well, you heard Ernie Zavala between rounds saying to him that Andrade can't handle your power.
So they were trying to wait to probably tire Andrade down and then try to knock him out in the end of the fight. Whereas Andrade is trying to build up a lead because he knows that he's the better boxer maybe, but not necessarily the stronger puncher.
We want Martirosyan to put his punches together and make something happen. And I think Martirosyan, through the experience of this fight so far, seems to believe that a big counter is his best shot like that.
Good right hand by Martirosyan as he was coming in. Landed this one on the button. Body shot by Martirosyan. Starting to get a little bit more aggressive now as the rounds move on. Andrade kind of controlling the middle. Martirosyan stepping to the side to land his shots.
And Andrade thinking a little bit about that hook upstairs, so Martirosyan's going with a straight right hand and the hook downstairs.
And that's the best thing that worked for Andrade so far was that right jab. If he can keep that working, that's probably his best weapon in this fight.
Martirosyan's family seated at ringside. Armenian family, a brother closest to you in the t-shirt. Father is the guy with the beard drinking the bottle of water in the middle, and the uncle on the far side. For those of you who don't know, Glendale, California has more Armenian residents, according to many reports, than any city other than Yerevan in Armenia. There are so many of them there, and Martirosyan has lived there ever since he was a small boy.
You know what he's talking about? 1 second. Mete la derecha. Shoulder jab. Keep turning him in. Take his right hand out of the equation. I don't want you headhunting with your...
CompuBox numbers through the third round. Martirosyan has landed 18 of 88. Andrade has landed 31 of 181. So Andrade has thrown more than twice as many punches so far in the fight than Martirosyan has thrown. Judges are seeing a big edge in activity for Andrade. Steve Weisfeld, how do you have it so far?
Jim, I have it 29 to 28 for Andrade. Jim, I've judged 18 of Andrade's rounds before, and the first round was the first one that I've seen him lose. Except for the knockdown, Andrade clearly won the first round. So I had that 10-9 instead of 10-8. Rounds 2 and 3, Andrade was busier. So after 3 rounds, I have Andrade up by 1 point.
Andrade hits Martirosyan on the back of the head, and John Shorley watches and then brings them back together.
And I tell you, I don't like Martirosyan's left eye, though. It's starting to look bad. I don't know if it's a headbutt or a punch, but it's not looking so good right now. And that's what Max was worried about earlier, wasn't it, Max?
Well, their heads came together in the first round prior to the knockdown.
Martirosyan is not so skillful or powerful that he can afford to have a disadvantage like a cut, and we've seen him cut over that eye multiple times in previous fights.
He says that it isn't the same cut, and it's always the same eye, but that the cuts have all appeared in different places. Under the eye on the cheek, over the eye above the eyebrow, over the eye under the eyebrow. Never in exactly the same place.
And it hasn't opened yet.
Yeah, eyes closing though, Max.
Yeah.
Right hand lands for Martirosyan.
Yeah, he's got a mouse under the eye in addition to whatever's over it.
And let's be clear, it's the left eye that we're talking about. The one closest to the camera now.
Roy, why does a guy like Andrade stop snapping the jab when it's his dominant weapon, as you mentioned?
He's doing it. It's just he's taking time that he does it, and he doesn't want to allow Martirosyan to come in and counter the jab and catch him with that hook like he did before. So sometimes he's a little reluctant until he's assured that Martirosyan's not coming in.
Andrade was momentarily in a defenseless position. Martirosyan missed over the top.
Of course, if he snaps the jab, Martirosyan doesn't come in.
No, he doesn't, but you got to remember, as far as we know here, Martirosyan is the more experienced fighter. So as for Andrade, he has to be very smart and selective about which times he jabs and which times he doesn't. If you remember, he threw a jab when he got knocked down, and he was trying to throw a counter left off the jab, and that's how he got caught. So now he's a little bit reluctant and not so quickly to throw the jab. But it is the best weapon when he does throw it at the proper time.
Hard right hand body shot by Martirosyan. Flurrying upstairs.
Generally speaking, Andrade continues to dominate with his jab.
Your head hunting with your hook. Watch. Come on. Give me that jab over here. Bring weight there. Boom. Then come to the top. Okay? Set it up off the body. Then we want the middle work with your left. Right here. You put yourself on an angle. Shoot there. Shoot up there. Okay? You got this? All right.
Stop the head hunt.
1-2 uppercut, 1-2-1, right away. Last punch is the power shot. Okay? Don't let him out hustle you. He won the last 2 rounds. Okay? Keep pushing him back. Deep breath.
A close look at Martirosyan's left eye. Through the 4th round, Vanes Martirosyan has been almost entirely a counterpuncher, landing only 3 out of 28 jabs, while Andrade has landed 23 of 157 jabs. Overall, Andrade had a 20-11 connect advantage in the 4th round. So Andrade has been the more accurate fighter. He's been the more active fighter. He has carried the action through the fight into the 4th round. But he tasted the canvas on a strong counter left hook by Martirosyan in the 1st round.
Sometimes that can hurt a fighter, Jim, because he sits around and constantly waits on the opportunity to knock the guy down again, thinking that he's going to get the knockout, so he doesn't put out quite as much as he would have had he not hurt the guy so early.
That was the 2nd time in the fight that Andrade landed a punch to the back of Martirosyan's skull.
Last couple rounds, especially at the end of the last one, I feel like Martirosyan is getting closer with his power shots.
Working more to the body in the last couple of rounds, and that could help him as the fight goes on. Vanes Martirosyan trains a considerable portion of the time in the Wild Card gym. He also has his own gym in Glendale, where he trains off and on. At the Wild Card, of course, he's worked with some very top-notch fighters, sparred frequently with Julio Cesar Chavez in preparation for Chavez's big fights. Body shot by Martirosyan, focusing there more and more.
He's got a good strategy going now. He's looking at throwing that right hand to the body to make Andre relax. Then he's going to try to sneak it up top.
Andrade landed a good left cross as Martirosyan was moving away. Good right hook by Demetrius Andrade. Landing his shots cleanly and sharply. There's a body punch from Martirosyan.
All of that was set up by that jab too, Jim. Anytime he can get that jab to pop like that, he lands usually other shots off of it.
Straight left hand lands for Demetrius Andrade. Martirosyan starting to be a little bit more active now as round 5 goes on, and getting hit with counter punches as the result of his greater activity. Still to come, Nonito Donaire against Vic Darchinyan. They fought in Bridgeport, Connecticut 6 years ago in 1997. Darchinyan was the favorite that night. He was one of the hottest fighters in the sport. But Donaire got him with a wicked left hook. And since that time, Darchinyan has been hoping for a rematch. Here's a look at Vic Darchinyan in his dressing room. In amazing shape as always, but they're 14 pounds farther up the scale now than was the case in 1997. And Darchinyan, whose first loss was to Donaire, has lost 4 more times since then.
Don't leave it to the judges. Don't leave it to the judges. You're out jabbing them. You're not bringing your power shots. You're not countering.
Circle to your right. Shooting that jab.
Coming box numbers in the 5th round, Martirosyan 13 of 42. The 42
is the highest number of punches he has thrown in the fight so far. Andrade, 16 of 61.
Throughout Martirosyan's career, as an amateur and a professional, he figures out a way to get it done, you know? And even against Erislandy Lara, and he, you know, was on his way to losing that fight, let's be honest. But got out with a draw. Here in the first round, Andrade came out like, this is my showcase fight. He looked pretty damn good. Martirosyan was able to put him on the canvas and never really let this fight get out of hand to where he's being dominated or steamrolled.
Very smart and very experienced fighter, Demetrius Martirosyan is. He's been to the top of the world in the amateurs, and he deserves to be at the top here. And his experience in this fight is showing why he was so good as an amateur.
He's waited an awfully long time, and some questioned whether Top Rank, the promoter, actually had confidence in him, given the number of chances he has been bypassed for in his career.
Oh.
And here he's getting clocked.
Yes.
Andrade landed a huge right hook.
Some big shots on him.
That seemed to hurt Martirosyan.
Biggest shots of the night for Andrade.
Martirosyan trying to fight back. Andrade is loosening up and letting it float here in round number 6.
Andrade hit him with a half a dozen big, clean shots to the head just then.
Martirosyan still fighting back, but getting hit too much in the 6th round. Minute and a half still to go. Martirosyan, good body shot with the right hand. That may slow Andrade down a little bit.
There he is, after absorbing that punishment, still there, plucky, getting inside and landing a right hand to the body.
Andrade's fast hands bothering Martirosyan. Martirosyan waving to him like, come on, bring it on. I want to counter you, but the counters aren't coming anymore.
He's just trying to make it work, Jim. Trying to wear him down.
Well, Andrade is flooding him with power shots here in the 6th.
Yeah, he can't get hit, keep getting hit with that same left hand. Not going to be good for him.
And the left eye continues to swell for Vanes Martirosyan.
One tough character, I'll tell you that.
I think since that first round knockdown, it's in Martirosyan's head that I can counter this guy and catch him at some point with something hard, even as he's opening up on me.
Left hand landed for Andrade.
You're fine, you're fine.
If nothing else, Martirosyan's shown a pretty good chin in this round.
A hell of a chin. And a heart.
And speaking of chin and heart, oh, what a left hand by Andrade to punctuate a huge 6th round. There's a man with a chin and a heart, and one of the greatest knockout percentages in the history of the sport, and a smile as big as all of Texas, George Foreman. George is involved in the promotion here.
Shots, all right? I want you to move your head, all right? Keep your hands up. Don't play around like that. You got to work to your left side. Double up the jab, 1-2 hook, under out, okay?
Okay.
1-2 hook, under out.
Repeat, what are you going to do? Repeat. Good job. 1-2 hook, under out.
Right behind
Okay.
the double jab.
I'll bet you you're taking 20 shots. Take shots. You guys know what I'm saying?
He see Andre land a 1, 2, and a 3, which is the right hook. Great combination that he put on Martirosyan. Second time he landed the jab, not really landing the left, and that's why Martirosyan told him, come on, because it didn't land flush on the chin that time.
By CompuBox count, Roy, Andrade landed 40 punches in that round. 35 of them were power shots. A lot of them were big power shots. So it's remarkable that Martirosyan took everything the way he did. But you worry about the accumulated damage, and Steve Weisfeld, how do you have it through 6?
I have it 58, 56, Andrade. Generally, there are 3 ways to win a round. You can outwork your opponent, be busier, outbox your opponent, be craftier, and outpunch your opponent, punch harder. And I think Martirosyan edged Andrade in round 5, but in general, Andrade is outworking him, outboxing him, and outpunching him. So after 6, I have Andrade up by 2 points.
Andrade, I don't want to say slapping, because he doesn't exactly slap, but he doesn't always make a fist at the end of the punch, it looks like. He modulates his fist in order to land the punch, and at times that means opening up his glove a little on the hook.
Yeah.
And that means a loss of power.
Right.
which is why Martirosyan is taking some of those power shots as well as he is.
Sophisticated viewers who watch all of our shows will remember that the Ukrainian star Vasyl Lomachenko, in his fights in the World Series of Boxing, had no knockouts. Then, in what was billed as his professional debut in Las Vegas against a fighter from Mexico named Jose Ramirez, he knocked him down twice with body shots, the second time for the count. And when Max Kellerman asked him in the ring afterward, how come the power here when you didn't have it in the World Series of Boxing, Lomachenko said, simple. I wasn't able to close the glove they were using in that competition, and this glove I could close.
I think that's a choice that Andrade makes because he wants the punch to land. And sometimes in order to get the range on it, he's got to open it up a little so he can catch Martirosyan on the end of it.
Well, I think there are a fair number of guys who don't actually try to keep the glove closed on the jab. They're more concerned about it with the power hands.
That's exactly right, Jim. A lot of guys do that because the jab, they're not really throwing it for power anyway. And they can defend better, they can push a guy off better. There's a lot of things you can do with an open hand that
you can't do with a closed hand.
Exactly.
Good right hand by Martirosyan. His best punch in a while. Martirosyan seeming to get some of his liveliness back in the last minute of round number 7. Immediately after Boxing Tonight, stay tuned for the premiere of 24/7 Pacquiao Rios. Check out the guys with Yao Ming on HBO's Instagram page as we follow both fighters as they prepare to meet live on pay-per-view November 23 from Macau, China. And if you're a Brandon Rios fan, stick with us. We'll be talking to him live later on in the telecast.
He's not that long. You're making him long. Get that out. You're making him long. You understand? He's coming right into you.
Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Just let it go. Okay? All right, kid. Come on.
Water here. Time box numbers in the 7th round. Martirosyan was 9 of 32. Andrade 21 of 63. We're back to that pattern that was observed earlier in the fight when Andrade throws twice as many punches as Martirosyan. Some of that because Martirosyan is hoping to counter. Some of that because Andrade's just quicker, more assertive, gets off more easily, is more interested in landing punches.
See, Andrade throws two different kinds of left hands. The quick straight left where he brings it straight back to his chin. And when he wants to throw it with power, it's this big punch, and he lets the left hand just dangle by his hips when he brings it back. And I think that's what Martirosyan's banking on.
Yeah, he throws that looping left hand when he really wants to hit him hard with it. And he throws a straight one when he's just trying to land. Like that when he wants power.
And of course, the straight one's more effective.
And they say the pronunciation of his name is Andrade. I don't know.
Nope.
No.
Actually, it's Andrade. The family prefers Andrade, even though it looks like Andrade. And if they were Portuguese, it would be Andrade. But they are not Portuguese. The family is from the Cape Verde Islands off the western coast of Africa, a set of islands colonized by the Portuguese centuries ago, and that's the reason for Portuguese-based names for people who come from the Cape Verde Islands. But his dad was quite assertive in saying it's Andrade.
This has been a better round for Martirosyan.
Good right hand by Martirosyan. Properly timing the counter there.
flat-footed a lot for a guy who could be on his toes with his kind of range, Roy.
And that's why I think Martirosyan had a better round so far, because he's sitting down now. He's not really bouncing around like he was earlier. He's close enough so that Martirosyan can get closer to him with his punches.
Martirosyan looks better in this round than he has in quite a while. Earlier this evening, just prior to our telecast's beginning, a fighter named Nicholas Walters in that green and black ensemble on the right was well on his way to victory against a fighter named Garza from Mexico. Caught him with that body shot, which the referee ruled a low blow. It wasn't. Seconds later, when Garza got back up, Walters caught him with some power shots upstairs and scored his 19th knockout in 23 fights. Garza has a title belt, which is one of those sad statements on the state of titles in the sport at this moment. Which isn't to say he's not a good fighter. Isn't to say he's, Walters is the one with the belt. I hope I said that correctly. Nicholas Walters of Jamaica. Not to say he isn't a good fighter. He's a very good-looking puncher. May turn out to be something special, but he has not yet earned a belt. He's been given one by a governing body, because the real belt belongs to Chris John in Indonesia, who's never seen outside of Indonesia. Through the 8th round, Andrade is still throwing basically twice as many punches as Vanis Martirosyan.
Not to mention, in that division, here comes Lomachenko and Donaire tonight.
Well, and eventually Rigondeaux is expected to move up to 126.
Rigondeaux, some swimming with sharks.
Mikey Garcia just left 126. The question is whether Garcia will stay at 130 or 135, or might he try to make 126 again to chase the money?
And the question is, can Donaire get by Darchinian later tonight?
That'll be in the next fight here on HBO.
Isn't both of those guys Armenian, Martirosyan and Darchinian?
Absolutely.
First time we had that, huh?
Yes, although Darchinian lives in Australia and Martirosyan lives in Glendale, California, but both are of Armenian lineage. Thus, the number of Armenians in our hotel. And they're a friendly group.
Yes, I need some very good Armenian people coming up.
Two former United States Olympians, both unbeaten in their professional careers so far.
Martirosyan has hung around. He's going to have to do something, I think, a little big in the next couple rounds to leave an impression that he's in the fight.
More than a little big. He's going to have to do something big, period.
Yeah, because right now, I think Andrade's confidence is very, very high. He's feeling good. He's in a rhythm right now, and it's very difficult to hit a guy with a good shot when he's in a rhythm like this.
Yeah, well, the reason I say, it doesn't need something completely dramatic is the judges may have scored the first round 10-8 for Martirosyan, and there were a couple of rounds that a judge might give him here and there, and suddenly, if you win a couple rounds, you're even on the scorecards.
Although I think Steve Weisfeld's 10-9 in the first round was a very good call.
I agree.
Because Andrade did dominate the rest of the round.
But just hanging around and doing enough to maybe steal a few rounds here and there and make it interesting on the cards is not enough for Martirosyan to say something tonight. He's got to change this fight.
Two rounds left. This is the only opportunity you got, baby. Huh? Deep breath. Deep breath. Give me a deep breath.
Another one. Listen, Vanes. I want you to throw combinations. 3s and 4s. Do not jump back. Stay in there and follow it up with a 1-2.
This is going to be number 10, baby.
You have to back them up. All right?
Keep jabbing, keep turning.
Boom! Boom!
Every time you hit him with a shot, he bangs his gloves and he gets ready to jump on you. Learn when to pull on that motherfucker and bang this nigga out. You're making him think he's in there. You better than this motherfucker. We worked harder for this shit.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Round 10 begins. Demetrius Andrade probably believes he's built a working margin on the scorecards against Vanes Martirosyan. Let's see how our unofficial ringside scorer, Steve Weisfeld, has it through 9.
Jim, I have it 87 to 84 for Andrade. The number of punches is always going to go for Andrade, but in round 8, I gave it to Martirosyan because he landed the harder punches with more effect. Round 9, Martirosyan seemed to take his foot off the gas. So with 3 rounds to go, I have Andrade up by 3 points.
And we may get something here because in Martirosyan's corner, they said, don't jump back. When you get in, stay there. And kind of the same thing in Andrade's corner. They want him to really put it on Martirosyan.
And Andrade landed a hard right-hand shot moments ago.
Martirosyan is taking them steps back, which they asked him not to do, and that's what just caused him to get caught by that right hook, because he's backing up from a taller fighter. You can't do that.
Interesting, though, that on Steve Weisfeld's scorecard, Martirosyan is still within 3 points, meaning he could win the last 3 rounds and pull out a draw. And, of course, Steve Weisfeld scored the first round 10-9 for Martirosyan, while you point out quite correctly, Max Kellerman, that some judges might have scored it 10-8.
And I think there's another issue here for both guys. It's a showcase fight. Who wants to take the next step? Not just advance, but make a statement. And Andrade has been dominant, and if he closes the show strong here, it's a very impressive performance. And obviously, if Martirosyan can change this fight, that's also very impressive. But if it simply continues like this and Andrade wins a decision, it's something less than that.
It's an unusual division in that 2 of the 4 title belts belong to Floyd Mayweather, who is not a full-time 154-pound fighter. So the full-time 154-pound stars in the division are Miguel Cotto, who is at least considering the possibility of going up to fight Sergio Martinez at 160 pounds. And the other possibility is that he'll fight the other big star of the 154-pound weight class, Canelo Alvarez.
And, of course, the best 154-pounder in the world is Erislandy Lara, who's not a big name and gets ripped off almost every time he fights, but I think he's the best in the division.
And nobody wants to fight him because of his counterpunching style.
Doesn't always pay to be a great Cuban counterpuncher, does it?
Well, it doesn't pay, but it's great.
I agree.
Martirosyan fought him because Martirosyan was desperate to fight a big-name fighter in some situation somewhere. So he took on Lara when a lot of guys don't want to do it. As you celebrate Thanksgiving November 28th, tune in to HBO for an all-new documentary which examines how the universal thread of sport unites us as a people. Sport in America. Our defining stories tells those tales through the eyes of fans everywhere.
Try to knock him out.
Round number 11, baby.
Stay there. Stay with him. Work your right hand and hook to the body, hook to the head.
Your punch is way harder than you.
Your hands move, son. Come on. You can do this. Here we go. Roll. Okay?
Then come over the top. Stay on that eye. Okay? He can't punch you, but you gotta be smart. Okay?
Everything right here, baby.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
CompuBox numbers in the 10th round. Martirosyan 6 out of 32. Andrade 17 out of 62. Andrade averaging 18 connects per round. Martirosyan averaging 8 connects per round. Throughout the fight, that pattern has obtained.
Max, you think Martirosyan might be missing Freddie?
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Well, I'm not sure Freddie being here would have made him any quicker, and Andrade has been much quicker. That's been part of the problem.
Oh, goodness, good right hook.
And Ernie Zavala is one of Freddie's guys. I mean, Freddie stocks that gym with respected trainers who he coaches up, and they seem to be on the same page. But that still doesn't mean you're Freddie Roach.
Zavala has worked with Freddie Roach for 19 years, so he knows the drill. But still, Freddie Roach is Freddie Roach.
Yeah, but I think this is more about Andrade being Andrade and Martirosyan being Martirosyan. Andrade, excuse me, after calling him Andrade all night.
You did a great job.
Roy, I blame that one on you.
Don't blame me.
Listen, I've called him Andrade throughout his professional career.
Yeah.
Fortunately, never called one of his fights. And it was only because of getting the chance to call the fight tonight that I learned it's Andrade.
I'm going with his dad said. His dad said,
That's
Andrade,
right.
I'm with you.
It's like Terrell and Terrell. I don't know which way to go on that name now either.
I just called him Proud.
And to give credit where credit is due, he's been on ESPN a great deal, and they've gotten the name right. So we should be able to do it too.
That's right. Andrade.
I tell you, right now, looking at him, I can't wait to see him versus Andrade Lara, because that'll be a great fight between two southpaws. And I know that's what's coming next.
You and I, are the only two who really want to see a fight like that.
I definitely want to see
it.
Our two purest fans, Roy Jones and Max Kellerman.
I mean, if you have this kind of style, a counter-punching southpaw with range, the tough part is that I really appreciate purists too, but if you're a brawler, you don't have to be great and I'll still watch you. If you have that kind of style, you don't want to just see a good fighter. You want to see a special fighter. Rigondeaux, for example.
Yep.
And Andrade is going to have to show that he can achieve on the highest possible level with that style. Something that Chad Dawson flirted with for a while, was ultimately unable to achieve.
We don't yet know what Andrade will do against a great opponent. I don't think Martirosyan is a great opponent.
And this fight's not over. Martirosyan has another round.
Yep.
He's not bad though, Jim.
He's good enough that Andrade's reputation will probably improve off this fight if he gets the decision that we would expect him to get at this point. Last round yet to come.
Don't jump back, stay on.
Okay? If you do not take a step back.
This is it.
Do you hear me? Don't take a step back. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let your hands go. All right?
Be smart, hold your defense. And when your hands up high.
You jab and circle to it.
That's all. Just jab, jab, boom, 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 boom.
Circle and jab. Dance.
Okay, you gotta take this round, but be smart. Go, guys. Take it out. Take it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is round 12, and it's for the vacant 180 middleweight world championship.
Happy box numbers through 11 round. Martirosyan, 94 out of 403. Andrade, 204 out of 712. So statistically, numerically, Demetrius Andrade has dominated the fight.
He has dominated the fight, and Martirosyan's been waiting to counter, and it hasn't worked out. And if he wants to do something, he's got to do it right now. He knows it, and Andrade knows it.
And you heard Paul Andrade, Demetrius' father, in the corner saying, be smart with your defense. The focus here for Andrade not to allow Martirosyan to get lucky with something big.
And he said win the round.
Ernie Zavala told Martirosyan in the corner, gave him good advice, not one backward step, and Martirosyan hasn't been listening.
Nope, he's already taken 10. 10 steps backwards against a taller fighter, a more rangier fighter.
So when the shorter fighter goes backward against the taller fighter, he's only magnifying the taller fighter's advantage.
And taking away his own advantage.
Martirosyan has a decision to make here in the next minute and a half. Does he want to be a good fighter with a name in this division in the mix, or does he want to do something? He's got to come forward and throw punches if he wants to be more than what he's been in his career so far.
But he's getting touched enough by Andrade and authoritatively enough that he doesn't have the hunger to do it.
Andrade has dominated the fight.
Yep. Andrade's confidence is at an all-time high right now.
Ovanes Martirosyan waited a long time. Since the 2004 Olympics, after which he turned pro, finally fight for a professional title, and he simply hasn't gotten off in the way that would have been necessary to threaten Demetrius Andrade. He got a first-round knockdown on a counter shot and hasn't done enough since then, as Andrade has piled up the numbers, throwing more punches, landing more punches, seemingly rolling toward what we would expect to be a decision victory here in Corpus Christi.
To me, Martirosyan seems like one of those guys that I felt like with Howard Davis Jr. He waited too long to challenge for the title, because by the time he got to the title shot, the steam of becoming a champion was gone. And that's what I see here tonight.
Great analogy, Roy. Howard Davis was a very gifted fighter who never got to where a lot of people thought he would go.
Gold medalist and probably one of the 2 or 3 fastest fighters I've ever seen in my life, Howard Davis Jr. That's not Martirosyan.
I wasn't talking about skill-wise.
But it's an analogous situation.
Yeah, about the timing of fighting for the title.
What is it? When you say the steam is gone for the championship drive, can you go into that a little bit more?
Well, you have a hunger when you turn professional to become a champion. There's a sharpness about you, a crispness about you. You saw it in this kid Andrade tonight. He has that ability, that strength, that sharpness, that freshness that makes you want to be a champion.
I hate to say it. Eye of the tiger, Roy?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, 11-plus rounds of this fight had a repetitious sameness, which made clear to us who the winner was likely to be. But here is the anomaly moment. This was what happened in the first round when Andrade was launching a left, and Martirosyan launched a left hook just ahead of him and landed the shot to knock Andrade down. If something unusual happens on one of the 3 scorecards, we would expect that it begins with that base of the knockdown in the first round. But other than that moment, most of the rest of the fight seemed thoroughly the property of Demetrius Andrade.
Yeah, I know why Steve Weisfeld gave the 5th and the 8th to Martirosyan. I'm not sure I would have. So that may be a generous scorecard for Martirosyan.
Steve, tell us who the official judges are.
Javier Alvarez was an outstanding amateur boxer with over 400 bouts. He succeeded Ray Mercer in the amateurs as the U.S. national heavyweight champ. He doesn't have tremendous judging experience, but he's been consistent. Don Griffin is a Marine veteran who's been a pro judge for 16 years. He judged Paul Williams versus Ishida in this arena early last year. That was a shutout across the board for Williams. Jesse Reyes became a pro judge in 1999 and does a nice job. He had Alvarez beating Mosley 119 to 109, and that was not a hard fight to score.
And now let's go to Michael Buffer for the official scores on the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. The winner will be the WBO light middleweight champion. Javier Alvarez scores the contest 115 to 112 for Martirosyan. Don Griffin scores it 114, 113 for Andrade. And Jesse Reyes scores it 117 to 110 to the winner by split decision. And now the WBO light middleweight world champion, Demetrius Caesar Andrade.
What a stinking scorecard that 15-12 for Martirosyan is. That better be a misprint or misread.
Otherwise, you have to wonder what fight that judge
What's the name
watching.
of the judge who gave the 15-12 scorecard?
Javier Alvarez.
And what did you say about him, Steve?
I said he doesn't have tremendous judging experience.
Yeah, or eyesight, apparently.
Javier Alvarez, in scoring the fight 115-112 for Martirosyan, scored the first 5 rounds of the fight, all for Martirosyan. I mean, that's pure blindness. I'm sorry. It's embarrassing to us and to the sport when a scorecard like that turns up in a situation like this. Final CompuBox numbers for the benefit of the blind judge who scored this for Martirosyan. He is outlanded by, well,
more than
112 punches, 122 punches. There you go, 122 punches. And he is outthrown by 326 punches. So, and Andrade lands at the higher connect percentage.
And he did it in more rounds.
Mondo Bizarro, a very, very strange scorecard. Jabs, Andrade lands 98 more and throws 359 more. And still, one of the judges manages to score the fight for Martirosyan.
Texas better not let him judge a fight for a while.
Wow, that was strange. 1 fight down, 2 to go here in Corpus Christi, Texas. You just saw Martirosyan and Demetrius Andrade in a fight that was marked by overwhelming dominance for Andrade in terms of number of punches thrown and landed. 1 knockdown, that by Martirosyan in the first round. A split decision win for Andrade. He deserved a unanimous decision. There's a look at Nonito Donaire. In 2007, he emphatically knocked out Martirosyan with 1 punch. And there's been talk of a rematch ever since. But before we get to that matchup, let's take a look at what's coming up the rest of November here on HBO. Next Saturday night, live on HBO, it's the return of undefeated super middleweight champ Andre Ward. He faces undefeated challenger Edwin Rodriguez. November 23, live on pay-per-view, Manny Pacquiao versus Brandon Rios from Macau, China. November 30, knockout artist Adonis Stevenson defends his light heavyweight crown against Tony Bellew. And title holder Sergey Kovalev faces Ismail Silak. And another reminder that immediately following Boxing Tonight, it's the premiere of our 3-part series, 24/7 Pacquiao Rios. Tail of the tape now for Nonito Donaire.